So the back here uses a lot more paracord than the front. So I'm going to offset the cord. I have 35 total feet here. I'm going to use 22 feet for the back and 13 feet for the front. Let me set my hook here. This is for the person to place on the wall after they receive their paddle. I'm gonna put it up underneath my rubber band here that I'm using as an assist. So I'll place that, put that in place. Alright, so remember, the back will always stay in the back and the front will always stay in the front. So here's the back, it's going to stay in the back. In the front here, I kind of piled up all my paracord because I'm going to be wrapping that through the cord that I'm going to use for the back. So, important start, you're going to go underneath the back cord, kind of catch it. So
grab this paracord, make sure
the front part went underneath, so I can catch it and go through the loop that you made. Cinch it down, make it nice and tight. Now this first one's not going to look too much like a cobra hitch.
Out of the way.
So you want to be cautious of cinching down so tight that you lose your hook in the back. So cinch that down tight. Here we go.
Okay.
All right. So the front always stays in the front, back in the back. So take the back underneath.
Make sure I come
again.
Underneath.
The front goes underneath the cord on the backside cord and through the loop. And cinch it down tight. There we go. Alright. Move that up. One in position, cinch down tight. Alright. So the back, again, just kind of keep that out of your way. And front comes underneath and back through the loop.
Come through.
There we go. Alright. Kind of make sure your knots are from the cobra knot are going to be up front, kind of in the face of the paddle, so it gives it a nice good look. And again, front goes over the back cord, good loop. Just remember, front cord stays in the front, and the back always stays in the back. And I think you'll be good to go. So let's speed this up a little bit here in a little bit, and we'll just take off. Alright, so cinch that tight. All my paracord knots from the front. Now we're ready to start the ring bolt hitch, like we have here. So we're going to do about 4 inches of ring bolt hitch here, and for that I'm going to need another. I'm going to need a total of 3 strands.
It's a nice.
I'm going to need a total of 3 strands.
I need 3 different strands.
I cut one using my previous ratio. I'll show here, if you can see it. So for every 2 inches of paddle, I need 21 inches of cord. So this is about 4 inches here of the paddle, so I need 42 inches of cord. And that's what I got here. So just tuck that up underneath this one here. And make sure you got something to hold it down, tape. I use a rubber band, but I've also used masking tape to hold that down.
Give me a assist
just
and hold this
be
down.
cautious on your first one. You can't really cinch it down too tight because it'll pull out. So
I'm going to go to the left.
we're going to do a half hitch here. So you go all the way around the paddle. I
half
start off going to my left, and then you're just going to bring up the rest of the cord through through the loop, and that's a half hitch.
That's how this starts.
Again, cautious of pulling it too tight.
Nice and tight again.
Just cinch it down tight enough. So I went to this one's on my left, so I gotta next one starts on the left. So the next we'll start a half hitch. It's on my left. So I'm gonna go over the paddle again and underneath. Make sure you keep that one that you just tied out of the way. You keep all of them out of the way, but you come over the top of the knot itself and
crazy there, I know.
another half hitch. See, I pulled a little too tight, so it'll start to come undone. So just
it'd be best if you just make
don't
it
really
really
sink
nice
down
and
on
tight
it yet.
up
You'll get the opportunity to make it nice and
now
tight
you're
here.
gonna take this one, come over all of it.
So now we
Again.
just went to our right, so we'll take the cord on the top right and make another half hitch. And then tighten that down. It's not looking too pretty right now, but it'll start to shape up. This will all be covered by your Turk's head. So now we have the top cord, and we're going to take the top.
Always take the top one.
And pull it all in a little tight. So we're going to take the top cord and create another half hitch. All right, so
and this is where it's going to really
with this knot,
shape right here.
if you only remember that the top knot,
take this one
always
again,
that you always take the top knot first, you'll be good.
Now.
So you always take the top knot over the rest of the knots, or the top strand, or cord, I'm sorry, and then make it nice and tight. And it's starting to take shape a little bit. You can see.
Make sure it's centered.
Push those all together.
All right.
Kind of.
Then we take this one again.
So you take the top one. Loop. Can get kind of messy if you got if you're doing a large half hitch here. But you can see it's kind of starting to take shape.
There we go.
You can make it tight, push it up. First time doing this knot, I was a little nervous that I was doing it wrong because it wasn't really looking like a half hitch at first, but just don't give up on it too quickly. Just keep going, and it'll,
take off.
As long as you keep using the top strand to come over all the other knots, you're going to be all right. All right. Here we go. Now you can really kind of start cinching this down really tight now. All the knots, pushing them together, really starting to make a knot work.
Now you're ready to kind of take.
Alright, so don't have too much left. I'm not quite down to my pencil mark, but let's make sure that's all tight. Do a couple more half hitches here. Looks like I'm going to get one more out of my small strand. This 42-inch strand that I cut. Looks like I might get one more. Yep. My ratio is pretty good. I'm down there at the pencil mark. Pretty good ratio.
Pretty good.
I was, for 4 inches, I used 42 inches of cord there.
So this is my front. This is my
Alright,
back.
so let's remember which one's my long cord here. So pretty much done with the ring bolt hitch. And we're going to start with the cobra knot again. You just remember which one's your long cord.
If you remember.
So
what I'll probably
that
do
one's
is
your longest cord is going to go in the back, and your shortest cord will go in the front. So
actually, it's good that they're on different sides.
I've got.
So, but what I probably need to do is just do another hitch here.
This is my longest one over here on this side, so I'm just going to go ahead and
this one down.
Do another half hitch. Put it on that side. There we go.
And do another one here.
And another half hitch here.
Get them on opposite sides of one another.
Alright.
And we're good.
So,
probably just tuck this one.
You can tuck this one underneath there. Kind of hide it away. It'll get covered up by a Turk's head eventually. But
there you go. Just kind of hide it. And be covered up by the transition.
Tuck it away. So it looks pretty good. And
now
we're ready to start. So remember, the longest cord, remaining cord goes in the back.
This is my bottom.
Shortest one
so
is going to be your front. So here we go. This is our back here.
Go under.
Remember, underneath.
Make sure I grab that one.
And
come
through the loop.
Just like that.
Just cinch it tight. So we're just starting with the cobra knot over again.
Bottom.
So longest strand underneath.
Up. Make sure I
Front. Go
grab it
underneath the back cord and through the loop.
Look all nice and neat.
There we go. Pinch it down tight.
Bottom.
All right, ready to go. All right, so now we're coming up on the end of the paddle here.
Hey, Will.
Do a couple more
Max.
half hitches.
Who's winning the game?
Not half hitches, but cobra knots. Sorry. And I think that's pretty much where you want it. Now you're ready to cut
There we go.
and burn.
Oh, looks pretty
So
good. Take that rubber
go ahead
band
and
off
take
up
this
there.
rubber band
and
off
then
here.
What we'll do is we'll end up
And
cutting
I'm ready to
these,
cut with a
singeing them down,
utility knife.
and
These
then doing our Turk heads.
these red ones off.
We're done.
And then those will all be covered up by
Ratio wasn't
Turk's
too
heads,
bad. I still
which
have
I'll show how to
plenty
do
left over.
here in
It's
a little
better to have
bit.
too much than too little.
You'll cut these off and burn them as well.
So yeah, there we go.
And